joining us. I am Pam Hansen, and I am the Director of Brand Outreach at Better Business Bureau. I really appreciate everyone signing on, especially our accredited businesses. And we've heard from many of you that you want to learn about topics like social media and digital marketing. So today we have Manny Hall, who is going to talk about social media strategies for your business. And Manny Hall is the owner of Manny Hall and Associates in Cleveland, Ohio. He is a brand strategist and author of 3 books and a workshop leader and a business leader in the Cleveland community. He believes that marketing and branding comes second. He believes that marketing comes second to branding, and without a brand strategy, your marketing strategy will struggle. He is married to a full-time entrepreneur with 6 beautiful children. So I want to thank you so much for joining us today, Manny, and pass it on to you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to share with everyone today. All right, so if you are brand new to social media, or you might have an Instagram page, a Facebook page, but you don't use it that much, or maybe you just don't know how to use it effectively, this class's workshop tonight is going to be especially for you. If you are also someone that follows a bunch of people on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, Snapchat, and you wonder how they are able to navigate through each one of those platforms so successfully with ease, it's definitely something that takes time. You have to be patient with yourself, but it's a process. Most of these individuals have already been doing it for so long. It's similar to, when I was a kid, I rode a bike, and one day I saw a kid riding with no hands, and I said, well, wait a minute, you're not supposed to ride your bike with no hands. How did you do that? Well, they were riding their bikes so many times more than me that they gained all of this experience, and they literally knew how to maneuver this bike and make it do some really cool tricks because they spent so much time in it. And most of the time, us as entrepreneurs, we're also, in most cases, full-time workers as well. We have families to take care of. So when do you really have time to get a crash course on social media and watch a bunch of YouTube videos and ask a friend to teach you? Sometimes your time is limited in order to do that. So a workshop like this is really effective to give you almost like a crash course, as well as some really practical steps to help you get to the next place that you ultimately want to be for your business. And near the end of this, we're going to have some time for Q&A. But with Pam's permission, if you guys have any questions while I'm teaching, that's totally fine as well, because I want this to be interactive, and I want everyone to get a chance to ask those questions right on the spot sometimes, so it doesn't leave you. Like, writing it down is definitely effective, but if you really have a question, I don't mind answering it with Pam's permission throughout the teaching, just to make sure that you really get something.
Absolutely. Feel free to write any questions during the chat, and I will be happy to present them to you.
Awesome. Okay, so welcome. That's my beautiful mug. My wife said that was one of her favorite pictures, so I decided to put that one up. And so it says, social media is beginning to take its rightful throne in the world of marketing. For many business owners and entrepreneurs, it's a key catalyst for business growth. If done right, its domino effect can create waves of positivity for many businesses to boost brand awareness and increase conversions to improve company profits. Let's grow your brand and business through social media engagement. All right, let's get started. Okay, just a couple of things to cover. We're going to be learning how to build engagement on social media, how to listen and learn and apply all of these principles that we're going to be talking about. The main premise is going to be building relationships, bringing value to your audience, and being able to tell your story effectively. Because I have seen, for social media wise, when you can tell a very effective brand story, it really allows your audience, your customers, clients, to get the help that they need from you, because they understand that you're someone that can actually help them. So rules: be open to learning and growing. Use kind language. Use chat feature for questions and comments, as Pam just advised. Take plenty of notes. So for those that probably are new age now at this point and say, well, I don't like using a notebook and pen anymore, Manny, I got my phone, I got my tablet. This might be one of those situations where you want to grab a pen and paper, just so you can make sure that you have jotted down. And don't mind if it doesn't look really pretty on your paper. Just get some of this information down so that you can have some good takeaways. All right. So, social media strategies for your business. Share who you are and what you do effectively. Make customers feel engaged often. For proven social media hacks for every business. And again, we're going to do the Q&A. Now, let's get right into it. What is your story? And I want you to take a little bit of time, even while I'm talking, to kind of consider this question. What is your brand story? Not just your story, almost like in a testimony form and like everything that you have accomplished, but for your brand specifically, who you are as the entrepreneur, who you are as the business owner, like what is the brand story? Why did you guys even decide to open up this business? Like, what's the passion behind it? And to that same point, you have this passion for it, but who are you really trying to serve? Not who you want to serve in terms of like, wow, it would be nice to be like a Walmart or a Target and every single person come shop with me. In most cases, that's not realistic. We're not a Target, we're not a Walmart. We are a business that has a very awesome niche for people to come to. So what is your story? What's your colors? Like, where are you going with this mission? If you think of Tom's, the shoe company, with them donating some of their profits right back into struggling communities all over the world, that's really awesome. Well, that's a part of their story. So your story is also going to translate on social media. How are you planning on helping these individuals that you say that you want to serve? Now, you could be a hairstylist, you could be an auto mechanic, you could be someone that sells pastries. Whatever the case, being able to have your story be told in a meaningful way allows people to continue to come back to you. And it's not this one-time story. This is a story that is literally being built every single day. So every time you make a post, you're literally showing who you are as a brand. And if you are a solo entrepreneur that you really are the brand, then you really have to identify ways to be able to tell your story. So I'll give you some practical examples just so that you can understand what I'm saying more. Manny Hall is Manny Hall and Associates, essentially. And I have a marketing agency. For me separately, I'm a brand strategist. And I am a family man, as Pam described in the bio. I love my family. I absolutely adore being around my kids and being all in their face, giving kisses and hugs all the time. But in addition to that, I also like eating healthy food. So I'm a vegan and I've just started this journey in January. And I'm also a Christian believer. That's a part of my story. I'm also a businessman that has tried two other businesses that were somewhat successful, but I know for sure that this is my lane that I'm supposed to be in with Manny Horn Associates, specializing in branding, because it really helps me to help these individuals that have had some hard times in life, period, as well as in their business. And some of you, maybe even on this webinar, have spent thousands of dollars for someone to help you grow your business in terms of a coach or some marketing, or you did some ads on social media hoping something would work, but maybe it didn't. Well, that's all a part of your story. And when you start to explain the story in bits and pieces, it allows those individuals that are really interested in who you are with different facets of you, because again, as some of the attributes that I mentioned about myself, some people are going to latch on to the fact that I'm a vegan and I eat right. Well, that allows them to build a relationship with me, which we're going to get into a little bit later, but that's all a part of my story. So I hope that that part makes sense. Now, you also have to look at what it is that you do, which is going to still encompass your story, but a little bit separately. What is it that you do? So not just the product that you sell, but what is it that you do? So I have a lot of different clients. One in particular is a real estate agent. Now you could say on the surface that she sells homes, absolutely. But what's behind her selling homes? She really has a desire to give everyone an opportunity at home ownership. Do you see that? So that's what it is that she does, aside from just the profession itself, because it gives much more meaning. Because these individuals that fit that class of people that really would love to get in a home, they know that they can work with this young lady because she's going to help them. And then what problems do you solve for your customers, for your clients? For the individuals that are walking into your brick and mortar store, like what problems are you solving for them? Not just how much money am I going to get from them based off my price point, but really what problem am I solving for them? Do they even realize that they have a problem? Like, let's just think about those in the healthcare industry. Some people, for the most part, they're eating whatever they want to eat. And there's other individuals that will come along and say, hey, well, maybe you should try this, or maybe you should look at this. But it's not really until they say something compelling enough that makes that individual think of maybe I need to make some better decisions because this is an actual problem. Maybe my health is already suffering. Maybe I'm a mechanic and I know that I don't have the money to get a brand new car, but I do need to get this problem fixed. But being able to present those problems to your audience, especially on social media, allows them to say to themselves, okay, yes, this is a problem and I do need to solve it. And here's someone that can actually help me do it. Share who you are effectively still. What products and services do you sell? Share your brand story with confidence. This is really, really major on social media because within the content that we post consistently, if people don't see confidence exuding from you, it's going to be very hard for them to believe that you can actually help them. And you think about every other profession that we as adults go to, like in terms of doctors, we go to the post office, we have someone fix our computer, and we go to the Geek Squad. We don't just always just call our friend down the street because he might not be able to help us. But we trust professionals that know how to do their job. And we trust them because they have confidence within themselves and it comes off of them. When you're talking to them, they're not vacillating, they're not going back and forth, they're not timid. They know who they are and they present their product with confidence, especially when they know that it works. So whatever product, whatever service that you are currently selling to your audience, you have to know that it's awesome. It's not the run-of-the-mill type of service or product. This thing that you have created, you've taken the time to do it, you've worked some really late nights, you woke up early in the morning on Saturdays trying to knock new projects out, trying to build this thing. You have to believe in it. You have to believe in yourself. And then when you're showing up on social media, you're giving them this confidence in the form of like live videos sometimes, regular videos, even with your written content. It's not in a passive way. You're writing it with confidence because you really know that your product, that your service works. And even with your call to actions on social media, they need to be built off of confidence. It can't be this laissez-faire, hey, if you want to work with me, hey, if you want to buy my product, I guess you can click the link in my bio. No, it's click the link in my bio if you're ready for change. Click the link in my bio. I have some awesome resources that's going to help change your entire life, to change your business, whatever the industry is. But you have to be able to say all of those things with confidence because it helps them to believe in you much more. All right, make customers feel engaged. Post often. Now, posting a lot in most cases for people that aren't already doing it once a day. If I said maybe post 5 times a week, that could still be a bit of a challenge. But I would really encourage every single person on this webinar to do your best to post as often as possible. Not stress out about it, not put too much pressure on yourself, but figure out a really good plan and strategy of how often you're going to post. Now, within telling your story and your post, most of the pressure that a lot of entrepreneurs have is they're trying to come up with some post that's going to be super captivating, that is going to get the attention of the president, the vice president, and the chief of staff. But you don't have to do that. You are literally showing who you are because they want to see who you are. Not just stuff about your business, not just business tips, not just how you can help them, but they want a little bit of peek into your personal life. Now, this doesn't mean you have to share everything. You share the stuff that you don't mind sharing. What I always advise clients is you figure out 5 to 7 things that you don't mind sharing, and you put those in rotation almost like it's some radio station that you listen to and they keep playing the same song, it seems like, every hour. No, but you might have just been in the car for 2 hours and you continue to hear that same song. But they had it in rotation, knowing that everyone is not going to be in the car at the same time. Same way with your social media page, showing them a little bit of who you are. So if you are selling donuts, and let's just say you have the best donuts in Cleveland, Ohio, well, you need to also show them a little bit of behind the scenes. Maybe showing them the team that's helping to make the donuts. Maybe showing the fact that you're this uh, mom of three beautiful kids, and at home you guys like to draw pictures together. You guys like to paint together. You go on fun road trips together. Being able to highlight your health journey, being able to highlight maybe you walk in the mornings or in the evenings, and you're just taking people along for this ride because they realize that you do much more than just make donuts. So they want to actually see those things sometimes. Okay, create targeted content. And this basically means create content that's for this tribe of individuals that you are building. You might hear me say tribe a few more times, and it's a little bit different than just a target audience, because this tribe of individuals is really someone that's going to tell the entire world about you. They start off with liking your posts, and they start commenting a whole lot, and they start sending you messages on your Facebook and Instagram page, and they start saying how much you're changing their life. They're showing you that they're a part of your tribe, that they are going to be rocking with you for a very long time because they love the content, they love who you are, they love what you're building, and they want to know more about you. So give them a taste. Now, there could be 1,000 secrets that you have that you never want to share on social media. And that's totally fine. Maybe you're someone that doesn't feel comfortable posting your kids or your husband or wife. That's totally fine as well. But you do have to figure out 5 to 7 things on average that you don't mind sharing so people can really get a chance to know you. All right. So you got to respond to comments, direct messages, and mentions daily. This is something that you can't overlook. Even if it's just one comment, you have to reply back to them. You have to be able to show your audience that you care about them and you're willing to give them a little bit more than just a like of their comment, but responding back. So if you posted a picture of your kid's graduation and they said congratulations, you could reply with something like, thank you so much. Like, I had no idea Eric was going to do this well this year, and he totally rocked out, and I'm so proud of him. And somebody else said congratulations, and you responded with, yes, we are so proud of our son. Like, he is so awesome. Like, just giving them a little bit more shows your personality, and it shows them that you're trying to build a relationship with them. And what ends up happening is people feel that they know you so much that you guys are like best friends. And this might be someone that you would never invite over to your house or even talk to on the phone, but giving them a little bit more of your content, it starts to tell the story about you and your business and allows them to connect with you much more. Okay, ask specific questions. On your social media posts, sometimes it's okay to ask a question related to your business. This allows you to get some more insight into what your audience is thinking about your brand as well as the product or specifically to the industry as a whole. And asking these questions, it helps twofold because you also get the algorithms working in your favor. And the more that Facebook, more that Instagram sees that people are interested in your content, the more that they will show it to people. Here's a known fact, and research shows it. And please write this down if you have your pen and paper. If you're using your phone and tablet, write this down as well. Studies have shown that on Instagram, because of the algorithms, what they do initially is show your post to about 10% of your audience. And depending on the number of people that bite on that information that you have shared on your post, they will open it up and show more. So if you make a post and a lot of people are commenting initially within the first 10 to 15 minutes, or you're getting a lot of likes, then they'll open that up. But if nobody is interested, then what they do is start to close it down. And now you'll see much more people not seeing your content on a consistent basis. And you'll see these random occurrences where maybe you're selling a product or maybe you sign someone up for your service, but you're thinking, where did this individual even come from? Like, how did they find me? Because they're not liking my posts, they haven't commented, I've never even seen them before. Well, what happens is, at least on Instagram, sometimes you appear on people's explore page and they might see you one time and maybe they never actually followed you or even commented, but they saved your post, they saved your name, and they continue to go back. So being able to have some really good consistent posts as well as responding to people, asking these questions every now and then, it really builds the engagement. Express gratitude towards new and previous followers. Here's a really quick hack, guys. When someone new follows you, send them a message. Instagram has this automatic reply thing that allows you to literally use the same messages or a few different messages to send out to someone every single time that they follow you, or whatever other sequence that you want to use. But this allows the relationship to be built with this potential customer or client right from the beginning. So being able to send them a message and say, hey, thanks so much for following me. I really appreciate it. And here's a little bit about me. Here's a little bit about our company. Here's what we stand for. Here's some cool facts that most people don't even know. That starts to build the relationship and allows that person to realize that there are humans that work for your company and not just some robot. Okay, also asking for feedback, doing surveys and polls definitely work. Okay, here's some more hacks. Get on live. Now, a lot of people might not be that comfortable being on live for Facebook, for Instagram, or Periscope, or some of the other platforms. And I totally get it. And I was really the same way. And even now, it's still kind of weird for me to be on certain videos because I start to get into like this introvert form, which I really am to the heart. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm really on video. I'm staring at myself. I can't hear what anybody else is saying. Like, are they liking me? What are they thinking right now? What's going on? And it can definitely be a little bit awkward, but it does allow you to build much more engagement and allows you to, again, tell your story effectively right through the live video. Now, whether you are someone that uses Facebook all the time or Instagram all the time, I would really highly recommend that whatever platform that you're more comfortable with, you start doing lives there first. Because if it's already a place that's a little bit foreign to you and you're not that comfortable, you feel like you might not get a whole lot of engagement there anyway, start with a platform that you have started to build a little bit of traction and that you feel pretty good about. All right, use hashtags. Add relevant hashtags to your post. This works very, very well if you do it effectively. Now, for those that are in certain industries and you are using really popular hashtags, please understand that your particular post could get lost in the shuffle because it's just so many, especially if it's like 20,000 or 50,000 or a million on that particular hashtag. What I would suggest is definitely using a hashtag that maybe you've even made up just for your business specifically, or for your brand that you're building, or a type of product that you have. Using some of those and using some other ones that are a little bit scarce that most people aren't using. Maybe you have thought of one and you pulled it up and it might have only had 500 posts on it. That's totally fine. This gives you the opportunity, if you keep using it effectively, for more people to just go to that hashtag and see several posts under that hashtag just for your brand, for your business. Reels are somewhat new, probably within the past 5 to 6 months now. This was Instagram's unique way of competing with Snapchat and also TikTok. So for those that aren't using Reels, this is a really effective way to get a lot of attention. Because Instagram really desires to compete with TikTok and get more leverage over them, then they're rewarding individuals that are using Reels much more. And you don't have to be super awesome to do a Reel. It can be goofy, it can be serious, it can be enlightening, it can be motivating, but it should be something that's going to be somewhat entertaining that someone is willing to watch. And when you do these reels, what happens is, again, it appears on other people's explore page. And this gives you much more awareness for your business, for your brand. Now, for those that are really building something sustainable that they know is going to transform a lot of people's lives, then you need to be educating your audience much more within this business. You need to be letting people know that you guys exist. Waiting for them to come to your Instagram page or your Facebook page just from some awesome thing that happened in the sky, that doesn't work like that. And I really want to encourage you guys to step out of your comfort zone a little bit with your social media strategy. It might be a little bit uncomfortable to do a live video, to think of some hashtags, to do a reel. And as we're about to talk about doing a giveaway, that might be a little bit weird and uncomfortable for you right now. But I am asking you to try to step out of your box, because when you do, it literally allows your business to transform. Now, for those that are building a business and it's not just you as an individual, then you can have your team really assist you with these things. Like if you don't want to get on a video, that's totally fine. Have someone that's on your team talk and do videos and present some live videos, because these things really work and it allows your brand to grow and expand to where it needs to be. Okay. Use your Facebook and IG stories. This is
Oh,
another really effective way.
Manny, can I ask a question? We have a
Yes,
question from someone.
yes, absolutely.
Is it possible to post too much on a social media platform?
Yes, it is definitely possible to post too much. So in certain cases, if you are posting like an ad or flyer to draw more business to you, and you just continue to post this over and over and over again without any quick context and without really allowing relations to be built around that post with other posts that can complement it, then that becomes really daunting for your audience and it makes them get away from your page. A lot of entrepreneurs, they sell a little too much on their social media pages, and every other post is something for someone to buy. And that type of content really detracts a lot of people. Does that answer your question?
Yep, I think that's good.
Awesome. All right. So again, use your Facebook and IG stories. Like this is a part of posting as well. So it doesn't always just have to be on your page, but you can also have stuff on your stories. Do ask me anything. On your IG stories, your Facebook stories, as well as a post, you could say, hey, ask me anything and I'm going to answer it. This is a really cool and fun way for your audience to get to know you and your organization. Use testimonials. I really am so thankful for the Better Business Bureau, because with their system that they have in place, that's been such a tremendous blessing to thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs all over the country. I was able to really build my business effectively with the number of testimonials that I have. So then being able to share these stories of how we helped people within our city as well as abroad, that really allow for social proof to happen. And social proof is basically us as other human beings actually seeing someone else buy a product or service. Because in essence, when we're going to the mall, when we're thinking of buying a new product or service, we really at our gut level don't want to be the only crazy person that has purchased this product from someone. But if we can go on Google and see one review, two reviews, it makes us feel a little bit more comfortable in terms of that buying decision. Okay, promote and show love. Like there's nothing wrong at all with you showing love to other pages, other people that's in your same space, and giving them the opportunity to get some more exposure. I like to call this like co-collaboration, because what you do is sometimes you might post something on your page of someone else's business and vice versa, and this gives you both exposure. But one thing to be mindful of is asking yourself, what exactly is my social media strategy? And that's something that you have to know ahead of time. Like, how much content realistically am I going to be putting out every single day? Or how much a week or how much a month am I going to plan the content out? Am I going to use different platforms that can help me do that? And I'll show you here. So you'll look for apps for posting. There's Later, Hootsuite, Buffer, Planoly, and Tailwind. There's a lot of different apps that can help you with the planning process. And then you have to ask yourself, what am I going to have on my page? Like oftentimes us as entrepreneurs, we don't ask ourselves these questions because we think that we can kind of just gun it and just go with the flow. And each day I'm just going to make up something. But when you have a strategy in mind, it takes the pressure off of you. So I would just highly suggest maybe just sitting down on a Saturday, or maybe even tonight after this webinar, and figuring out what exactly is going to be my social media strategy. Hootsuite, which you'll see right on here for one of the apps of posting, they have a really great article that you can find on Google about social media strategy. And it really helps you to understand it a little bit more, as well as I have some resources you can go on my website and find, and go to my Instagram page and you'll see a bunch of different resources as well. But the main thing is really putting together a social media strategy and figuring out what that thing is going to be so that you're not just throwing darts in the air, because I think sometimes we get disappointed very easily when we are making different posts that we see other people making. Like we went on Canva and we made some really cool images, but it just didn't seem to get the sales that everyone else is getting. Well, we have to respect the process and stay consistent and not think that everything is going to happen overnight. Now, do some people become millionaires right overnight in a month? Absolutely, it happens all the time. But that's not everyone's story. And if early on you're seeing that that's not happening, then you have to adopt a different mindset of realizing that I have to respect the process. I have to even change my mindset about who I am as a business owner up against where I want to be, because it is really, really easy for us to have these really big ambitions to do some great things, to make $1 million for our business, but it's also going to require you to do the work. And sometimes doing the work is not hanging out with your friends as much. Being able to tell your friends that I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't spend all my money over here, I can't buy fancy this and fancy that. But when you change your mindset, then you start to see all these other opportunities right ahead of you that you didn't see before because your head was in the cloud somewhere else. But I really would highly suggest just putting together a social media strategy and not trying to wing it. That could potentially help.
You. And thank you everyone for joining and asking these questions. They were great. Like I said, I think social media is super important for businesses. And thank you, Manny. I really appreciate you sharing your wisdom with all of us today. And this webinar is recorded, so I will send it out to you in case you want to rewatch anything or have any questions. And I know Manny put his contact information here, but if you ever need to reach out, please feel free to email me at any time.